this dream of launching our own online business. But honestly, it can feel pretty overwhelming. Where do you even begin?
I know what you mean. There are just so many moving parts.
Exactly. And thankfully, we have an awesome roadmap laid out here that seems to cover pretty much everything. And that's what we're diving into today. We're going to break it down into manageable steps and pull out those golden nuggets of wisdom that'll help get you moving.
Sounds like a plan.
And get this right off the bat. The roadmap emphasizes something you might not expect right away, choosing your business name. It's not just about finding something catchy.
Oh, yeah, it can get pretty serious. Legally speaking, there are definitely things you need to consider.
Definitely. We'll get into all of that, but first let's rewind back to the very beginning. Let's say you've got that killer business idea you're super passionate about, which is amazing. But this roadmap makes it crystal clear passion alone just isn't going to cut it.
It's true. You need more than just enthusiasm.
You've got to make sure there's actually a market for what you're offering. It's like setting sail without checking the wind conditions first.
Exactly. It's like you're a detective investigating a case. Before you invest all your time and energy and money, you need to gather those clues.
Makes sense. So where do we even start our detective work?
Well, the roadmap points to some really useful tools. Things like Google Trends, keyword research tools, and of course, social media analysis.
Right, I've heard of those.
Yeah,
But how do we use them effectively? We need to go deeper than just surface level.
absolutely. Let's take Google Trends as an example.
Mm-hmm.
Say you're passionate about, I don't know, handcrafted leather goods. You don't just want to look at the general search volume for something broad like leather wallets. You got to drill down.
So you mean like look for specific styles or maybe certain colors that are trending?
Exactly. Maybe there's a regional interest you can tap into. It's all about uncovering those pockets of opportunity that others might be missing.
I see. And what about keyword research? It's easy to get lost on all those super competitive, high volume keywords.
Oh, yeah. It's tempting to try and rank for something generic like online store. But good luck competing with the giants like Amazon on that one.
Yeah, you can get lost in the noise for sure.
Instead, you want to focus on what are called long-tail keywords. These are longer, more specific phrases that really target a niche audience. So instead of online store, think handmade leather wallets for men or personalized leather journals for artists.
Okay, so it's about getting specific and attracting customers who are already looking for exactly what you offer.
Precisely.
Makes sense. So we've done our market research. Things are looking good, and we're feeling pretty confident. What's next on this roadmap to success?
Let me see. Oh, yes, the business plan. I know it can sound a little dry, but it's really important.
Yeah, the dreaded business plan. Can't really skip that part, can we?
It's more than just paperwork. Think of it as crafting the story of your business. It's where you lay out your vision, your strategy, and how you're actually going to get there.
I like that. A story. So how do we make this business plan story compelling?
Each section is like a chapter building on the previous one. You start with a captivating hook, the executive summary. It's like the movie trailer that gets people excited to see the whole film.
It's got to grab their attention.
Exactly. Then you move on to your market analysis. This is where all that detective work we did earlier comes into play. You really showcase that deep understanding of your target customer and what makes you stand out from the competition.
Showing that we've done our homework.
Exactly. And of course, we can't forget the financial projections.
Okay.
This is where things get real.
And this is where a lot of people stumble, right? Getting those numbers down on paper.
It's true. It's tempting to be overly optimistic in your forecasts, underestimating costs, overestimating revenues, hoping
Sure.
for the best.
But this roadmap stresses that it's not about just making guesses.
Right. It's about creating a detailed roadmap. Cash flow projections, break-even analysis, profit and loss statements.
It might not be the most exciting part of the process, but it's definitely essential.
Think of it as building a strong foundation for your business to thrive on.
Okay, so we've got our market research, our business plan ready to go. What's the next step in bringing this online business to life?
Well, before we get ahead of ourselves, there's something super important we need to cover. The legal side of things.
Right, of course. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of the creative side.
Absolutely. But the legal stuff is what makes it official. And it protects you and your business.
So things like registering your business name, getting an EIN number, and any specific licenses or permits.
Exactly. It might seem like a lot of paperwork, but there are resources available to guide you through it all.
Like a website or something.
Exactly. In fact, this roadmap mentions a website, -sba.gov. They have a ton of helpful information specifically for small business owners.
Perfect. Bookmarked. So we got the legal stuff squared away, our business is registered. Now let's talk about building that online presence. This is where we really start to see our vision come to life.
It's like setting up shop in a prime digital location.
I love that. So our roadmap stresses the importance of having a website. No surprise there, right?
It's your digital storefront open 24/7.
Makes sense.
Mm.
But building a website can be intimidating. There are so many options out there.
Oh, for sure. But the good news is you don't have to be a tech wizard to create a great website. Our roadmap mentions some popular platforms like WordPress, Shopify, and Wix.
Those are all names I've heard before.
Yeah.
But how do you choose the right one?
Well, it really depends on your specific needs and your level of technical comfort. Each platform has its pros and cons.
Can you give us a quick rundown?
Sure, WordPress is super versatile and customizable. You can really make it your own. But it does require a bit more technical know-how. Shopify is fantastic if you're selling products online. It's got all those built-in features like shopping carts and inventory management. And Wix is known for being super user-friendly. You can pretty much drag and drop your way to a beautiful website.
So if someone's just starting out, maybe Wix is a good place to begin?
Yeah, it's a great option for beginners.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're planning on building a full-blown e-commerce store, Shopify might be a better fit.
And regardless of which platform you choose, our roadmap makes it clear that two things are absolutely crucial: SEO and security.
Couldn't agree more. Let's start with SEO, search engine optimization. Basically, it's all about making sure your website shows up when people search for relevant stuff online.
So making Google happy. But how do we actually do that?
Well, it starts with figuring out what your target audience is actually searching for. What words or phrases are they typing into Google? Those are your keywords.
Okay, so find the keywords and then just sprinkle them all over our website.
Not quite. You have to be strategic about it. Use them in your page titles, headings, meta descriptions, and even within the body of your text. But don't just cram them in Google smarter than that.
So it's about finding the right balance.
Exactly. Google wants to see websites that provide valuable, relevant, and user-friendly content. So focus on creating quality stuff that genuinely answers people's questions.
Got it. Quality over quantity. Now, what about those meta descriptions? They always trip me up. What am I supposed to write there?
Think of it like your website's elevator pitch. It's that short snippet of text that appears in the search results. So it needs to be concise, compelling, and give people a reason to click.
Like a little teaser.
Exactly. Use your keywords naturally, but also make it sound enticing. Make people want to learn more.
Okay, so we've got keywords and meta descriptions. What other SEO tricks do we need up our sleeve?
Backlinks. These are links from other websites to yours. They're like votes of confidence.
So the more backlinks, the better.
Not necessarily. Quality matters more than quantity. A link from a reputable website in your industry carries way more weight than a bunch of random links from who knows where.
Makes sense. So how do you go about getting these high-quality backlinks?
Create valuable content that people actually want to share. Think about guest blogging on relevant websites, participating in industry forums, reaching out to influencers in your niche.
It's all about getting your name and your website out there in a genuine way.
Exactly.
All right, so SEO is about optimizing for search engines. What about security? Why is that so important?
Security is about protecting your website and your customers' data. It's about building trust and credibility.
So things like SSL certificates, I've heard those are important.
Absolutely. An SSL certificate encrypts the data that's transmitted between your website and your visitors' browsers. It adds a layer of protection.
So it's like putting a lock on your digital storefront.
Exactly. And there are other things you can do too. Choose a secure hosting provider, use strong passwords, and keep your website software up to date.
Right, security is an ongoing process.
Definitely.
Okay, so we built this beautiful secure website. We've got SEO covered, but how do we actually get paid? How do we set up online payments?
This is where it all comes together. The moment your business really starts to hum.
I'm excited already.
And there's some great options out there. You've probably heard of PayPal, Stripe, and Square.
Those are the big names for sure. But how do you choose the right one for your business?
Each platform has its own strengths and weaknesses. PayPal is super easy to use and widely accepted. Stripe offers more customization and integration options. And Square is great if you have a physical storefront as well.
So many choices.
But no matter which one you go with, there are a few key things to consider. First, make sure it supports multiple payment methods: credit cards, debit cards, digital wallets.
Yeah.
You want to give your customers options.
Right. Make it as easy as possible for them to buy from you.
Exactly. And of course, security is paramount. Make sure your chosen platform is PCI DSS compliant. That means it meets industry security standards.
Another layer of protection, this time for our customers' payment information.
Precisely. And don't forget about transaction fees. Each platform charges a small fee per transaction, so factor that into your pricing.
Good point. All right, we've covered a ton of ground here. We've got our market research, our business plan, our website, our payment system all set up. Now, how do we actually get customers in the door? It's marketing time.
This is where it gets really fun. Marketing is all about connecting with your target audience, building relationships, and showcasing what makes you special.
But there are so many different marketing strategies out there. Where do you even begin?
Start with a deep understanding of your target audience. Who are they? Where do they hang out online? What are their pain points? And how can your business solve those problems?
It's like we're back in detective mode again.
Exactly. And once you know who you're trying to reach, you can start exploring different marketing avenues.
Like social media, content marketing, email marketing.
Those are all great options. Social media is perfect for building brand awareness and engaging with your audience in real time. Content marketing is about providing value and establishing yourself as an expert. And email marketing is a fantastic way to nurture relationships and stay top of mind.
It's about finding the right mix of strategies that work for your business.
Exactly. And don't forget about SEO. It plays a role in marketing too. Make sure your content is optimized for search engines so people can actually find it.
Okay, so we've got all these organic marketing strategies. What about paid advertising?
Paid advertising can be super effective, but it's important to use it strategically. The key is to target your ads effectively so you're reaching the right people at the right time.
And make sure your ads are actually converting into customers.
Right, absolutely. Your ad copy needs to be on point. Grab attention, highlight the benefits, and have a clear call to action. Tell people what you want them to do.
It's like guiding them from the ad to your website.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to experiment. Try different things. See what works best. A/B testing is your friend.
Okay, so we've talked about a ton of different marketing strategies, but there's one more crucial element we need to touch on: the customer experience.
Oh yes, the customer experience is everything. It's what separates the good businesses from the truly great ones.
And in the online world, it's all about creating a seamless, enjoyable experience for every customer, from start to finish.
Absolutely. It starts with your website. Is it easy to navigate? Is it mobile friendly? Are your product descriptions clear and compelling?
It's like designing a virtual store that's inviting and easy to shop in.
Exactly. And communication is key. Be responsive to emails, answer questions on social media, make your customers feel heard.
It's all about building relationships.
And don't underestimate the power of personalization. Use their name in emails, recommend products based on their past purchases. Little things like that can make a big difference.
So it's about going the extra mile to make customers feel valued.
Exactly. And when you do that, they're more likely to become loyal fans who not only keep coming back, but also tell their friends about you.
Which brings us to another important point: encouraging feedback and reviews.
Feedback is a gift. It helps you understand what you're doing well and where you can improve. So make it easy for customers to leave reviews. Send out surveys, create feedback forms on your website.
And even negative reviews can be valuable, right?
Absolutely. They can highlight areas where you need to make changes. Just make sure to respond to all reviews in a professional and courteous manner.
So it's all about creating a feedback loop, constantly learning and improving. All right, we've covered so much in this part of our deep dive. We've talked about building a strong online presence, accepting payments securely, and crafting a killer marketing strategy. But in the final part, we're going to shift gears and talk about the ongoing process of monitoring, optimizing, and ultimately growing your online business for long-term success. Stay tuned. All right, we're back and ready to dive into the final stretch of launching your online business. We've covered so much ground already getting your business off the ground, but as our roadmap points out, launching is just the beginning.
It really is. It's like you've planted the seeds, but now you need to nurture them, help them grow.
I love that analogy. So how do we keep our business garden thriving? Our source really emphasizes monitoring those key metrics using analytics tools.
Exactly. Those metrics are like your business's vital signs. They tell you how things are performing, where you're strong, and where you might need to make some adjustments.
Okay, so which metrics should we be keeping an eye on? I know our source mentions website traffic conversion rates and customer acquisition costs.
Those are all essential. Website traffic tells you how many people are actually visiting your site. Conversion rates tell you how many of those visitors are taking action, like making a purchase or sign up for your email list.
And customer acquisition cost basically tells us how much we're spending to get each new customer.
Right? It's all about understanding the financial health of your business.
But data is only useful if we know what to do with it, right? How do we actually use these metrics to make smart decisions?
That's the key. Let's say you're seeing a high bounce rate on your product pages. That means people are landing on those pages and then leaving without doing anything.
Something's not quite right.
Exactly. It could be a number of things. Maybe your product descriptions aren't compelling enough, or the images aren't doing the trick. Maybe the price is too high, or the shipping costs are scaring people away.
So analytics can help us pinpoint those problem areas.
Exactly. It helps you get to the root of the issue so you can make the necessary changes.
And it's not just about fixing what's broken right. We can also use analytics to figure out what's working well and do more of that.
Absolutely. If you see that a certain blog post is driving tons of traffic to your website, create more content like that. Or if a specific type of social media post is getting a lot of engagement, double down on that strategy.
So it's about constantly analyzing and adapting.
Exactly. It's an ongoing process.
Now, beyond those hard numbers, we also need to make sure we're listening to our customers directly right.
Customer feedback is invaluable. They can tell you what they love, what they wish was different, and what challenges they're facing.
It's like having a direct line to their thoughts and feelings.
Exactly. So make it easy for them to share their feedback. Send out surveys, create feedback forms on your website, and be active on social media, respond to comments and questions, and show that you genuinely care.
It's all about building those relationships and making customers feel heard.
Exactly. And when they feel valued, they're more likely to stick around and tell their friends about you.
Which is the best kind of marketing there is.
Word of mouth is incredibly powerful.
So we've talked about monitoring metrics, analyzing data, gathering customer feedback. What's the next step in this journey of business growth?
It's all about taking action. Use those insights to make informed decisions about your products, your services, your marketing strategies, everything.
So it's about constantly refining and improving.
Exactly. And if you hit a plateau, don't be afraid to shake things up. Maybe it's time to launch a new product, expand into a new market, or collaborate with other businesses.
It's about staying creative and adaptable.
The online world is constantly changing, so your business needs to evolve too.
That's such an inspiring message to end on. We've covered so much in this deep dive, and I feel like we've really equipped our listeners with the knowledge and tools they need to launch their own online businesses.
Me too. It's been a fantastic journey exploring this roadmap with you.
And to our listeners, we hope you found this deep dive helpful and inspiring as you embark on your own entrepreneurial adventures. Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So be patient, persistent, and most importantly, passionate about what you're doing.
And as you move forward, here's a final thought to ponder. We've talked a lot about identifying your target audience, but what happens when you start attracting customers you didn't expect? How do you adapt to serve those new customers while staying true to your core values?
It's definitely something to think about. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this, so connect with us on social media, share your experiences, and let's keep this conversation going. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into launching your online business.